I guess we'll look at some news. I couldn't find any like funny news stories. I like the ones that are like, I don't know. I like the ones that are a little bit gossipy. Apparently they're spicing up the NDIS, and I think they might be well, it's definitely not sustainable at the moment, so I guess they do have to cut back on stuff. Your sleeping tablets are kicking in? Pseudomastics, I want sleeping tablets. Give me some. What have you got? What good? Do you have any of the good stuff? Is it like benzos? Hook me up, pseudomastics. All right, good night. Yeah, so apparently they're not going to be funding like a lot of autism related stuff on the NDIS anymore, but I think probably more the Asperger's side of the spectrum. But I have two siblings that get NDIS funding, but they're very disabled. One is like about 3 years old intellectually, and the other one is like, no, they're just actually antidepressants, but they make you sleepy. Oh, yeah, some of them do that. All right, well, have a good night. Sleep tight and all of that stuff. I would say don't let the bed bugs bite, but I hope that you don't have bed bugs. That would be gross. That would be gross. You realize later you were dressed like Trent Reznor. Ooh, that's kind of that's yeah. I was thinking about Trent Reznor today, actually. Well, what I was specifically thinking about was Trent Reznor and Tori Amos when they dated. If they had a kid, and that kid would probably be like in their 20s now. And I'm like, maybe that would be like an actually talented Nepo baby, right? If Trent Reznor and Tori Amos had a kid together. Anyway, I think about stuff like that sometimes. I do. I have problems.
Parents and autism advocates have expressed fears over major changes to the NDIS. Disability Minister Mark Butler has moved to assure families who rely on the scheme their children are not about to be removed, with changes to come into place from mid-2027.
Woolooware mum Letitia Ondrag has autism, so does her eldest daughter Zoe. She says the NDIS has allowed them to get the right support.
It's been really a lifeline.
But that could change under major reforms.
There will be some people for whom autism is a permanent, significant disability. For children with mild to moderate.
Honestly, a lot of the people that I know that say they have autism, I'm not saying that they don't have autism, but like they have like Asperger's, right, which is on the spectrum. But they're just a little bit awkward and a little bit weird. And sometimes I always do tests to see if I have autism. And I even went to like get assessed for autism because whenever I see like a reel on Instagram about girls that have autism, they always do all the things that I do, but apparently I don't have autism. But I'm always like, do I have autism? But yeah, like if you're on the Asperger's, like, side end of the spectrum, I feel like you're a surveyor, so you're definitely on the spectrum. I mean, yeah, but I don't have any spatial skills. I have no depth perception, Delta. I like walk into things. I walk into things all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's I don't know. And yeah, it's not great. Like, I don't know. Do I have reverse autism? Well, I have ADHD. I do have that. But one of the neurologists that I saw was like, no, you don't have autism. You're just really weird. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, I guess. I'll take that. The people that scam it are the problem. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people that are very high functioning, have really high paying jobs, and they're like, yeah, I'm autistic. And I'm like, are you? Okay. I mean, I don't want to question it, but yeah, I just see all these things. I think people just pathologize like normal behaviors, right? And they you were talking about more the providers. Yeah. Well, I'm talking more about the providers as well, but I think people pathologize like normal behaviors that just kind of are like, oh, you're a little bit awkward or a little bit weird. I was very good at making friends, and I had a lot of friends until I got really sick and I like stopped going out, and then I got like really anxious and I got like really weird about like talking to people, and I got nervous, and then that just kind of escalated, and now I'm just kind of in this like weird thing where I'm like, do I have autism? What is wrong with me? Why can't I talk to people? I don't know. I just know a lot of people that are just very high functioning and don't really see, it doesn't seem to affect them like My future husband will have to keep his arms around me to protect me from bumping into things. Do you know what? When I go out with my friends, they literally put their like arms in front of me to stop me from walking out into traffic and stuff, because sometimes I just don't look if there's a car coming. And like they'll grab my hand to cross the road and stuff like that. Like I'm a child. But I basically am. Like, I dissociate a lot, and that's like from my childhood. It's like, you know, a trauma coping mechanism or stuff. So sometimes I'm just walking down the street and I will just tune out, or sometimes you can be talking to me and my brain will just, and you have to like, are you there, and like bring me back. I don't know, just not there sometimes, you know. You don't think there's anything sensitive about it personally? Australia has the world's highest diagnosis rate for autism. I don't know what that acronym stands for. The ANOVA compared to other countries is statistically unfounded. Well, yeah, it does seem like it is very easy to get autism diagnosis in Australia, and I do wonder. Like, yeah, because I just know some people that I've known forever that are like, oh, I got an adult autism diagnosis, and I'm like, did we bring up unpleasant memories? No. I was just thinking about the fact that I zone out. Like, I'm a very like off with the fairies kind of person, and it is from that. But yeah, just the point is, if like you're ever out in public with me, you will have to sort of, I don't notice. I'm not always like aware of my surroundings. A lot of the time, like my body's moving, whatever, but my brain is like somewhere else. You know, I just turn off. It's bad. Your friend has autism, but you wouldn't guess it if you met them. Well, yeah, I've had friends tell me about their autism diagnosis, and I was like, wouldn't have picked it. But they're like, oh yeah, I've been masking my whole life, and I'm like really tired of doing it, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, yeah, man, we can be weird together. Let's be weird together at my house. Like you can like make weird noises. You can rock back and forth. You can do it all. Because I kind of, because the other thing is like, if you have trauma, that can look a lot like autism as well. Because I have like a lot of self-soothing behaviors that I do when I'm by myself. Like if anyone who's ever lived with me knows that I will just rock back and forth. Like if I'm just sitting down or whatever, I will rock back and forth a lot. I dissociate a lot. I do a lot of things that like people with autism would do, but like people with like CPTSD or PTSD also do the same. Your sibling was told she didn't have autism when she went for the diagnosis and was given a borderline personality disorder diagnosis instead. Yeah, they can kind of look similar, especially like the emotional dysregulation side of things. It's probably food dyes. No, I just, I'm the most jumpiest person you'll ever meet. Like, I am scared of my own shadow. My housemate has to walk around whistling because if they just walk into a room, I will scream. Like, I will actually jump and scream. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, I've been at the like doctors before, and the doctors left the room and then come back in the like to get something and then come back in the room, and I've like screamed, and they're like, and I'm like, sorry, I'm a scaredy cat. Yeah, it's I'm just traumatized. Apparently, I don't have the autisms. I just have trauma. You don't get jump scared that often, to be honest. Oh, I'm scared of everything. I am so jumpy. And I think it puts other people on edge too, because they like think that they've done something wrong, or they think that like I'm scared of them. And I'm like, no, it's not you. I'm just jumpy. But yeah, it feels, the other thing is like, if anyone comes in my personal space, I'll always put my hands up like they're gonna hit me. Like if people come into my personal space when I'm not expecting it, I'll like flinch and put my hands up as a reflex. And I've had so many people get upset about me. They were like, I wouldn't hit you. I would never hit you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just that I used to get punched and hit a lot as a kid. And so my reflex action when like somebody moves swiftly towards me is to like, you know, flinch like that. And it's really bad. And like a lot of people feel like, you know, feel bad. Like they feel, yeah, I can understand why you as a normal person would feel offended that your like friend or your girlfriend thinks that you're going to hit them. But yeah, it's just a reflex action. you're the most silent person and accidentally sneak up on so many people. Yeah, that would terrify me, Raven. I would be so scared. I would be so scared. You would have to get like really, like you would have to wear tap shoes around me, Raven. You would have to wear tap shoes. So I would always know where you are. I'd like put a bell on you or something like that, you know.
Autism or mild to moderate levels of developmental delay, a different system is needed.
There is nothing like mild autism. It's something that reflects the lack of real understanding. It started with my blood boiling, wondering what's going to happen to all of those kids.
From 2027, a new program called Frightened Kids will be rolled out to deliver support in schools and community settings for children with autism.
At the moment, 1 in 7 Australian boys at the age of 6 being in the NDIS is insane. We don't have more autism in this country than we have anywhere else in the world. We have a scheme that is set up to help children with developmental delay. We just have to structure it differently.
These are vulnerable children. We're dropping them off a program like a line in a spreadsheet purely for an economic decision.
The government says those who are currently...
Yeah, but the NDIS is so important and we need it to be sustainable. So we need to find, unfortunately, like people that don't work in policy. I have a master's in social policy. In case anybody's wondering, I'm not talking out of my ass. Yeah, look, unfortunately, we don't live in a world where there is, you know, a never-ending pot of money. And it's really, 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 really important that we have an NDIS. It is very, very important. And we need to make sure it's sustainable, right? It's not sustainable at the moment. There are too many people rotting the system. And I'm sure there will be alternative things in place for people that are on the autistic spectrum, but perhaps aren't, you know, because I've worked with autistic kids that are non-verbal. They can't dress themselves. I know that lady was just saying that, you know, there's no, it's all the same, yada, yada, yada. They can't say that, you know, ours is less severe, but she's obviously married. She has kids. Like, there are some autistic children that can't talk, they can't dress themselves. They need their parents to do absolutely everything for them. Like, those two things aren't comparable. I'm sorry, lady, but they're just not. And, yeah, we need to have a robust. You can 100% quantify severity. Well, they do quantify severity of disability in Australia. That's literally what the disability pension does. It assesses your level of disability, right? They'll give you like, you're capable of working like 0 to however many hours a week. And if you get that, then you don't have to work. Like there are ways, we do have ways to assess disability in this country. We 100% do. But yeah, like she obviously has a partner. She obviously has a family. Like, there are some autistic children on the other end of the spectrum that, they'll never look their parents in the eyes. They'll never hug their parents. They'll never talk. They'll never, you know. Yeah, I just don't think it's fair to compare those things. And look, I understand she doesn't want to lose her funding. I understand, yada, yada, yada. But it's not like there's not going to be anything in place. The thing is, it's so important to have an NDIS. There are so many people that are profoundly disabled that we need to have the funding for them to have things like wheelchairs. We need to have the funding for them to have things like modifications done to their cars so that they can drive. You know, there are people with literally no arms and no legs. So, yeah, look, get what she's saying, but the NDIS as it is being used as a slush fund by a lot of people, and it's not sustainable. And if we want the NDIS to exist in the next 20 years, then we're gonna have to start doing some things, you know. Unfortunately, I do feel for her, but yeah.
On the NDIS will remain in the system and continue to get regular assessments. Once new programs are put in place, then those who are eligible may be moved onto those schemes instead.
We know that there are schemes out.
Yeah, so there will be an alternative scheme. It might not be, you know, you might not get as many free things, but the fact of the matter is, like, there are parents out there at their wits' end because they care for their kids 24/7, and those are the parents that need the most support. In my opinion, like my mum cared for which my parents still care for my sister, right? They've been caring for her entire life, and they'll care for her until the day that she dies. She can't dress herself. She can't bathe herself. She's verbal. She talks. She tucks tantrums like a toddler, but she's the size of an adult woman. She can get very violent. All of these things. My parents don't want to put her into a home, so they take care of her. But you know, it's tough. Like those are the people that need the support. Life is really freaking hard for a lot of people out there. The plan is to take off the lowest effective group, which is also the largest group of claims. Yeah, well that makes sense from a policy. That makes sense from a policy position. But you know, I'm not saying that she doesn't have a disability. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm saying you can't compare apples to oranges, right? You can't compare a child that can't talk, a child that can't feed themselves, a child that can't bathe themselves, to a child that maybe has some behavioral issues and maybe is, you know, I don't want to sound insensitive, so I'm trying to word it carefully, but I hope everybody gets what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be an asshole.